Gunmen abduct 20 medical students in Benue State. Kano police expressed alarm over rising homicide and flood-related deaths. On foreign scene, 16 villagers killed in eastern Congo as conflict continues despite ceasefire. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. On a very sad note, where 20 medical students were kidnapped in Benue State, according to police authorities on Friday. The students were traveling to Enugu State through Otukpo local government area when they were ambushed by bandits. Police Public Relations Officer Sewese Anini confirmed that the students were en route to a program in Enugu when their convoy of 2 buses encountered the kidnappers around 5:30 p.m. on Thursday. This area has become increasingly notorious for kidnapping over the past 6 years. The federal highway from Otukpo through Ugbokolo in Okpupo local government area down to Odoba and Otukpa in Ogbadibu local government area is known for its dangerous conditions due to kidnappers operating in the dense forest and ungoverned spaces. In a similar incident about 6 weeks ago, the management team of Benue State Polytechnic Ugbokolo, including the rector, was kidnapped on this same route. The region has seen several kidnapping incidents involving motorists and Catholic priests, with little progress in addressing the crisis. The Kano Police Command has issued a public advisory expressing grave concern over a troubling rise in cases of culpable homicide and flood-related deaths within the state. In a statement from Commissioner of Police Salman Dogo Garba, conveyed through Public Relations Officer Abdullahi Haruna Kiyawa, the police highlighted a disturbing increase in incidents involving violence and drowning. These incidents include fatal fights, stabbings, and deaths resulting from floods which have left families and communities devastated. The advisory urges residents to exercise extreme caution and restraint in their daily interactions to help prevent such tragedies. The police are calling on parents and guardians to advise their children and wards about the dangers of violent behavior and its serious consequences. Disabled persons in Jos, including the blind, physically challenged, paraplegic, and amputees, have voiced their concerns over the worsening economic hardship that is severely impacting their lives. During an interaction with Trust TV on Friday, the affected individuals expressed how the recent nationwide protests in Plateau State have further compounded their struggles amidst already difficult circumstances. We'll bring you this report in our subsequent bulletins. Moving on, a severe downpour that began on Thursday night and persisted until Friday afternoon in Kebbi State has led to the collapse of a crucial bridge in Meyama local government area. Local sources report that the bridge, which connected the villages, about 7 villages, was washed away by flood waters due to the continuous rainfall. This bridge was a vital transportation link for these communities, and its collapse has significantly disrupted economic activities, social interactions, and access to essential services. A local government official confirmed that emergency rescue operations have been initiated. Authorities are currently evacuating stranded and displaced residents and assessing the extent of the damage caused by the bridge's collapse. The affected communities are urgently calling on the government to expedite the repair and reconstruction of the bridge to restore connectivity and normalcy to their daily lives and economic activities. You go to Taraba State, where insufficient rainfall has impacted farming activities negatively, as most of the crops planted are wilting earlier this year as a result of drought. To address the situation, experts are not only advising farmers to not lose hope that there may be sufficient rainfall before the end of the season, but to also intensify efforts geared towards improving dry season farming. Here's the report.
Taraba State is one of the states in the northeast of the Federation that usually encounters heavy rainfall during the rainy seasons, a situation many believe make the state an agrarian state. However, the situation this year is taking a different dimension following a drastic reduction in rainfall. Some farmers in Jalingo say the last rainfall in the city was witnessed on the 31st of July, while the day of news broadcast is 15th August. They said since the beginning of the month of August, which usually comes with regular rainfall till the end of the season, it was worrisome that up till now, no considerable rainfall has been witnessed in the state. According to them, crops planted early in the year like maize, rice, okra and groundnut among others were all dried, while the dams and rivers have no water due to the cessation of rainfall in the state.
To muna iya noma shinkafa, masara a nan wurare.
As farmers who are into rice and maize farming, our challenge right now is that we are experiencing lack of rainfall. Some of us can afford water engines, but some cannot. Today is about the third or fourth day I am irrigating this farm because without watering the rice in the absence of rain, all the grains will be damaged. The maize that is yet to mature can yield if the rain continues, but the matured one cannot yield any crop, even if the rain continues because it has already passed its period without sufficient water. The same goes for the rice. On the other hand, the security challenges is another factor because if you are not careful, they will steal your rice or maize when they begin to mature.
To, matsala kan ana nan fuskantar ta gaskiya tunda
I am a farmer. We are facing serious problems because most of us plant rice and maize, and all of a sudden rainfall just ceased for a long time and our crops are damaging. We are praying for God to bring rain in order for our crops to yield, because some of the crops can be harvested if the rain continues, but the matured maize and prematured rice cannot yield.
Wannan shekaran amfani sun shiga cikin wani yanayi.
This year, our plantation is suffering due to lack of rainfall. Even if you harvest at this point, you will get nothing out of it because it has exceeded its maturity period without rain. Like those maize that were planted early at my back, if the rain falls, they will yield. But those that are already grown will not yield anything even if the rain is continuing because they are already damaged.
A gaskiya tunani da ya shiga zuciyarmu.
This year, if I don't get any engine, I don't think I will continue farming unless God help us and government support us. All what I have planted have gone due to shortage of rainfall. By now, I should have been selling okra worth 200,000 naira. But this year, up till now, I haven't sold anything worth 50,000 naira in the entire farm. The only good I'm expecting from the farm is sweet potatoes, because they still have some time to mature. An expert on agriculture and chairman Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, Tanko Bobo Andami, recalled similar incidents between 1972 and 1973, stressing that a good farmer should always expect such occurrences and keep in mind that there may be drought or bumper harvest at any time. Tanko declared that the only thing that government can do to mitigate the situation is to restrict the activities of hoarders who hoard products in large quantities only to stock and resell at a later period at exorbitant prices.
Every farmer is supposed to expect natural disaster every season. It may be drought, it may be flood, it may be insect invasion or other natural disaster. Since it is an external issue, it's not an internal issue, it's not an issue that a farmer can control, we resort to prayer.
The farmers in the state called on government to consider their situation and come to their aid for the betterment of agricultural activities in the state.
The Senate confronted one of its members, Senator Sumaila Kawu, on Thursday, disputing his claim that he receives 21 million naira monthly in salary and allowances. Senate spokesperson Yemi Adaramodu dismissed Kawu's statement as inaccurate. The debate over the substantial paychecks of National Assembly members surfaced following remarks by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who over the weekend accused lawmakers of setting their own pay scales. Although the National Assembly rejected Obasanjo's claim, Kawu, a senator from the north, revealed in an interview with the BBC House of Service on Wednesday that his monthly pay amounts to 21 million naira. However, Kawu clarified that his monthly salary is less than 1 million naira, and after deductions, his take-home pay is slightly over 600,000 naira. Despite this clarification, Senate spokesperson Adara Mudu contradicted Kawu's claims in a statement on Thursday, adding further complexity to the ongoing debate. So, political matters, the Labour Party has rejected the new fees for the upcoming local government elections in Kaduna State, which are set at 2 million naira for chairmanship forms and 500,000 naira for councillor. The party has threatened to pursue legal action against the Kaduna State Independent Electoral Commission if the commission does not revert the fees to their previous amount of 200,000 naira for chairmanship and 50,000 naira for councillorship. Bello Musa has more.
Addressing newsmen at the party's state office in Kaduna, the Labour Party chairman Awal Tofoki stated that the new fees set by the commission are unacceptable and appear to be an attempt to discourage opposition parties from participating in the local government elections.
Because initially, they said we are going to pay 200,000 for the chairmanship, then 50,000 for the councillorship. Suddenly, she changed. The chairperson changed from 50,000 to 2 million, from 50,000 to 500,000 for councillorship. We feel they want to discourage other parties from participating in the forthcoming local government election. So that we are not going to agree, we are not going to take it lightly.
The party also emphasized the need to have an independent electoral body for the local government elections.
The Supreme Court have ruled, and when they rule, we are saying that INEC should hasten up every procedure so that every state will have independent to run local government election. INEC, please wake up to your responsibility and do the needful for the masses.
Tafoki urged the state governor Obasani to intervene by calling Kasikom to order to avoid being accused of complicity.
Anybody contesting now is what you want to serve Kaduna State. So it is Kaduna State issue. Why should some people be deprived of taking part in these democratic settings? So we are calling on the governor to, if he's not aware, he should be aware that if the fee is not revised, we have no option but to go to court and make sure it's stopped.
Labour Party Chairman Kaduna State Tafoki expressed lack of confidence in the Commission's ability to conduct free and fair local government elections, saying they are only giving the Commission the benefit of doubt. He further called on the federal government to allow the National Electoral Body INEC to take over the conduct of local government elections nationwide. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
We go to Lagos State, where several shops have been affected as fire ravaged a 7-story building. The incident happened on Sani Adewale Street in Lagos Island local government area of the state. Confirming the incident in a statement, the director of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Margaret Adesheye, said firefighters from the Ebute-Elefun, Sari and Lekki 1 stations were dispatched after receiving a distress call and arrived at the scene by 5:33 a.m. on Friday morning. She said the fire, which started around 5:17 a.m., caused panic in the area as residents scrambled for safety. Emergency officials were on ground to extinguish the blaze, which has already destroyed items valued at millions of naira. As of press time, no casualty has been recorded. This is the news update on Trust TV. Still to come. Jigawa youths plant 1,500 trees to commemorate 2024 International Youth Day. More stories when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now a recap of our top stories. We told you that gunmen abduct 20 medical students in Benue State. We also informed you that Kano police expressed alarm over rising homicide and flood-related deaths. More stories. Sokoto Youth for Progressive Movement (SYPM) has called for decisive action against foreign government interference in Nigeria's internal affairs. The coalition of civil society groups in Sokoto under the aegis of Sokoto Youth for Progressive Movement has expressed concern about recent developments involving foreign interference in Nigeria's internal affairs. The group noted that during the just concluded national protest, foreign flags were prominently displayed, raising serious concerns about attempts by foreign entities to destabilize Nigeria like they did for Libya, Sudan, and others. In a statement signed by its coordinator, Mustafa, the SYPM strongly condemns any form of external interference that undermines Nigeria's sovereignty and the democratic rights of its citizens. The group called on the federal government to identify and prosecute those foreign individuals and organizations found to be involved in these destabilizing activities, while calling for enhanced security measures to prevent similar incidents in the future by engaging in rigorous monitoring and regulation of foreign entities operating within our borders to ensure they respect Nigerian laws and values. 3 drug kingpins and 16 other offenders have been convicted and sentenced to a total of 302 years in prison for trafficking and dealing in illicit drugs. The drugs they were accused of trafficking are cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, cannabis, and opiates, among others. In our statement on Friday by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency spokesperson, Femi Babafemi, said the 19 convicts led the list of 414 drug traffickers and dealers convicted by the Federal High Court across Benue, Bauchi, Edo, Lagos, Ogun, Gombe, and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, between July 1st and 31st, 2024, following charges brought against them by the NDLEA. Femi said one of the 3 kingpins, a 50-year-old Bolanle Dauda, was arrested during an intelligence-led raid by operatives of a special operation unit in NDLEA at EBA along Lagos-Badagry Expressway while attempting to cross the land border to deliver the consignment in Ghana on May 25, 2024. Femi also said another kingpin who was put behind bars is 34-year-old Ike Stanley Ifeanyi, who was arrested at the popular Idumota markets in Lagos Island, where no fewer than 1,100 ampoules of little synthetic opioid, fentanyl, weighing 6.480 kilograms were recovered from him. He added the dangerous opioid is 100 times more potent than heroin and currently responsible for over 70% overdose deaths, as well as a major contributor to fatal and non-fatal overdoses in the United States. As part of efforts and activities to commemorate the 2024 International Youth Day, 100 youths in Jigawa State have embarked on a tree planting campaign aimed at mitigating the effects of climate change. Ali Rabiu witnessed the events and filed in this report.
The campaign, supported by UNICEF and led by the Jigawa State government, targeted the planting of 1,500 trees in semi-arid areas of northern Jigawa, where deforestation has severely affected the region. Speaking at the launch of the campaign, Governor Umar Namadi, who was represented by the Managing Director, Jigawa State Environmental Protection Agency, GISEPA, Engineer Sabo Muhammad, commended the youths for taking the lead in addressing environmental challenges in the state.
The issue of climate change is always here. The climate change is real. Climate change is real. So we have to ensure that we mitigate this climate change. We can only mitigate this climate change, among other things, by planting trees.
The program specialist, Water Sanitation and Hygiene WASH, UNICEF Field Office Kano, Dr. Ubalawan, who emphasized the importance of youth involvement in environmental conservation, said the youths have the energy, creativity, and passion to drive positive change. The youths have already planted 500 trees in Babura, with plans to plant an additional 500 trees, each in Megatari and Suletankarkar. Core members among the youths participated in the tree planting in Suletankarkar local government area. where they commended the efforts of youths geared toward addressing environmental challenges by planting trees.
This planting exercise has to do with reduction of deforestation and then desertification, which is caused by persistent removal or cutting of trees. So the state government have decided that at least they will plant trees so that they will reduce the happenings of all these climate issues.
Today, being 15 of the month of August, is a day set aside for UNICEF for our youth to practice afforestation, to plant at least a tree. That is due to the climatic change we are facing across an area like this.
The tree planting campaign is a testament to the power of youth-led initiatives in addressing global challenges. As the world marks International Youth Day, the youths of Jigawa State are leading by example and inspiring others to take action. It has been Ali Rabiu Ali, Trust TV, from Jigawa.
In business, Nigeria is set to secure a $500 million World Bank loan to address challenges in the country's education and health sectors. This was detailed in a recent program information document for the appraisal stage of the Nigerian Human Capital Opportunities for Prosperity and Equity Governance Program. The proposed loan, part of the HOPE Governance Program, aims to tackle long-standing staffing gaps and enhance the performance management of basic education teachers and primary healthcare workers. The document indicates that the Washington-based bank may approve the loan in September of 2024. It also noted that the country would adopt national identification numbers and bank verification numbers to combat payroll fraud. Away from Nigeria, clashes between local rebels and pro-government militias in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo killed 16 villagers on Thursday. A government official said the latest violation of a ceasefire announced to help millions of displaced people in the region. The villagers were killed in Rutshuru territory, North Kivu province, during fighting between the M23 rebel group, which is believed to be backed by neighboring Rwanda, and local Wazalendo fighters, who often fight alongside Congolese security forces, according to Isaac Kibara, an administrative official in Rutshuru. The fighting has raised new concerns about the sustainability of a ceasefire that came into effect on August 4 to end fighting in the region and provide aid to millions of people in need. Several other ceasefires announced in the past between the government and rebels have also been violated. Separately, Governor Jean-Jacques Purusi Siddiqui of South Kivu province in Eastern DRC on Thursday lifted the suspension of all mining activities nearly a month after announcing the ban to restore order in the mineral-rich region. The lifting of the ban follows meetings with mining companies and a directive to them to file tax returns and sign a pledge of transparency in the mining sector, according to a statement from the governor's office. And finally, in sports, Nigeria's senior women's football team, the Super Falcons, have retained their 36th position in the latest global ranking by the Federation Internationale de Football Association, FIFA. The Falcons also maintain their position as the top-ranked women's football team in Africa, according to the ranking released on Friday. This ranking follows their disappointing performance at the recently concluded Women's Summer Olympics football event in Paris, France. The Falcons failed to progress to the quarterfinals after suffering 3 consecutive defeats, losing 1-0 to Brazil and Spain, and a heavy 3-1 defeat to Japan, finishing at the bottom of Group C. Following Nigeria in the African rankings are South Africa, 50th position, Morocco 59th position, Zambia 62nd, and Ghana at 66th. And that's it for news updates at this hour. For more news, programs, and documentaries, both on our social media platforms and our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Wanfo. Thank you for joining us at this time.